Hey man, Eminem. And I fought with Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z, one of the best, top 5. You know what I mean? Solo rappers, top 5. You know what I mean? But Eminem at that time was a fucking monster, man. He was eating everybody that stood next to him. Now, what you're gonna say, and what most people are gonna say is, well, I identify more with what Jay-Z said because that's my life and that's where I come from and that's my background. Okay, that's right. But at the same time, you got to look at Eminem and say, yeah, but look at the kids that was looking up to him, look like him, and got his background. Now that takes him off into the middle of America and a lot of places that we probably wasn't at yet. So if you look at the demographic, I'm sure that Eminem and Jay-Z, Eminem took Jay-Z into a lot of places and a lot of households he had never been in just because he was on the song with Eminem. So you got to look at both sides of it. If you was to put the same light on M, he really represented his community the same as Jay represented his community at the time of them doing that record. But as far as influence, shit, to me, M came out as being as great or even as a better rapper than Jay, technically, on that record, you know? And I know as far as it being his record, I think that he took Jay-Z into households that Jay-Z wasn't in at that time. He made Jay-Z cooler. There's no way Jay-Z made him cool.
What's good with it, YouTube? It's Coffee tapping back in, man. And Jay-Z featuring Eminem, Renegade. What a moment in hip-hop history. What a moment in music history. You know what I mean? Absolutely epic when you really think about it. And, you know, that was big Gipp there of Goodie Mob. And it's kind of interesting if you really think about it, man. Like, Goodie Mob was so dope. And when it comes to how he was speaking of Eminem and Jay-Z and, you know, being put out there to the mainstream and the masses, you know, the music world outside of hip-hop, and thinking of things from that perspective, when it comes to Goodie Mob, like, they were so dope to me. Comment if you fucked with Goodie Mob, the Dungeon family and all that. Goodie Mob, I don't even know if they're active as a group anymore. I see Gipp always active on social media and whatnot and doing interviews, as we just saw right here. But CeeLo Green is a dude that later on, you know, way past when I really was seeing music from Goodie Mob as a group, he got huge in almost like a pop kind of genre type way, you know, as a solo artist, and was a part of another music collective or group, Gnarls Barkley. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like a lot of individuals out there don't even know, unless like, you know, real heavy hip hop fans, like a lot of cats don't probably even know that CeeLo was a part of Goodie Mob, you know? So looking at things from this perspective, what Gipp is saying about Jay-Z and Eminem and this epic collab that went down back in the early 2000s. And then you think of CeeLo and Goodie Mob and all that. It's just kind of interesting. Comment and let me know if y'all feel me on that. And Goodie Mob, man, you see in this video here that I'm bringing to y'all, the J Coffee Talk presentation, one of the clips that's chopped up in there is a track that Goodie Mob was on, one of my favorite tracks, Watch for the Hook. It was actually a Cool Breeze song. You know, they were all Dungeon family affiliates. You had OutKast in there, Goodie Mob, Cool Breeze. The video was fire. They're all rapping fast, you know, just hitting all them syllables like a featherweight boxer combo. You know what I mean? The bars just keep coming. And the video, you know, was like inspired by Reservoir Dogs, a classic movie as well, tied in with the music. It's just all really dope artistically. If y'all feel what I'm saying, jump in the comments, man. I truly missed that era back then. I want to say that was 97, 98. And man, BET back then, y'all remember like Rap City used to play a lot of semi-underground artists, and you had the Rap City Countdown, and just a lot of artists that didn't necessarily get played mainstream wise to the masses would get their videos played on BET, Rap City, and whatnot, and get interviews on there, Loud Records. Just it was a just different era, man. And it's kind of crazy with the blogosphere and YouTube and other internet platforms becoming what they have, for the underground artists and whatnot. It was almost pushed as like a blessing where anyone could just put their ish out there. But then it ended up being taken over by corporations and big labels and whatnot found a way to manipulate the algorithm and buy ads and just different things like that. And it's kind of, and then there was a lot of trash ass rappers coming out too. It's just crazy, man. It's just all different. Like I truly miss that era of the 90s. Comment if y'all feel me on that. But getting back to what we were talking about here with Jay-Z, Eminem, Renegade, the convo has always been, of course, Nas putting it out there, Eminem murder you on your own ish. So we just got to get that out there right away, right off the rip. Comment and let me know if you feel that to be definitely true, if you agree with that M outshined J on his own track. I got to know for real, like tap in. But it's also crazy because even though it was Jay-Z's track and on his album, the Black Album, it was really originally a Bad Meets Evil song, Eminem and Royce. And, I really sit back and look at what a big track this became in hip hop and hip hop history. It's a damn shame that when M linked with Jay-Z for the collab that he didn't keep Royce on the track and bring him with him. That could have been so big for Royce the 5'9" at that time as well, as although he did get on later on and whatnot. But I just feel like that could have been huge for Royce and even a doper track than it already is. But it is what it is. I guess they kind of somewhat semi still had their beef going on at the time, even though the beef really wasn't an M Royce. It was more like a Royce D12, but I don't know. But the main debates and conversations and narratives over the years when it's come to Renegade has always been like, once again, did M murder Jay on his own ish? But, it was like with Eminem, as Big Gipp was saying, and you've heard a million times, Eminem, most individuals respect his skills as an MC and his wordplay and all that. But many cats are just like, yo, I don't really relate to what Eminem's talking about. Or, it's not my cup of tea. Like, he's dope, but I'm not bumping his music. But it always feels like most individuals who even feel that way respected M more after that song, that he was able to collab with Jay-Z, that he went in so hard and that it was just a masterpiece at the end of the day, And, even though Eminem was already solidified as a dope MC at that point in time, it was still just a really big point, milestone in his career, getting that Jay-Z collab. But then to hear Big Gipp kind of flip the script and be like, yo, if you really look at it from this other perspective, Eminem actually made Jay-Z cooler, where the previous narrative and point of view that I was just speaking of, that's always been the narrative over the years and all the hip hop debates and discussions, is that Jay-Z made M cooler in hip hop circles. Gibbs like, yo, when you look at it on a mainstream level in an overall picture, Eminem really helped out Jay-Z more and made Jay-Z cooler, as Jay-Z being, I guess, or not I guess, but I guess more respected in hip hop and already recognized as a great artist and once again one of the dopest rappers in the game, who is delivering his last project and retiring, which we know that isn't really the way that it went with the Black Album, but he definitely got way less frequent with his music releases after the Black Album. It took a few years till Kingdom Come and then the American Gangster soundtrack and what we've got since then, a few other projects. Gipp was like, Jay-Z, took Eminem took Jay-Z through the collab and put him out there to all the popish fans or suburban fans or mainstream fans that maybe didn't really tap all the way into Jay-Z that the way they did to Eminem, and just elevated Jay-Z's reach to a whole nother level. And in turn, he's saying Eminem helped Jay and made him cooler. It's just wild, I don't know. It just kind of blew my mind all over the place. And I thought it was rather interesting in a perplexing interview clip, that's circulating around the blogosphere right now. So jump in the comments. Let's talk about it. All this, as always, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more, as this is J Coffee Talk, where we talk music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. But also, let's hit them comments hard. Let's debate and discuss this, because that's what this channel's all about. Do you agree with what Gipp was saying? Have you looked at things from that perspective before that Gipp brought to the table there? And it's just really kind of good game and a life's lesson in a sense that you can apply to all situations, to always look at everything from every point of view, not just a one-dimensional view on things. That's not how the world works or society works. And that game can probably help everyone in the world, in the blogosphere. And also, what do you guys think about Eminem leaving Royce off that track? What do you think about Goodie Mob as a group? Are they still active? Did you fuck with Goodie Mob? Did you fuck with the Dungeon family? Do you remember that Watch the Hook video, with the Reservoir Dogs ish in it? Do you miss that era as well, like J Coffee Talk does? The mid to late 90s in BET, all the dope programming that they used to have on there. But whatever anyone's point of view or thoughts are on this situation and on this collab, one thing I think is for certain that pretty much everyone could agree on, maybe I'm wrong, correct me if I am indeed wrong, is what an epic collab that was. Two very popular, very skilled individuals that had a massive reach, that fans really related to and flocked with. Speaking of Jay-Z and Eminem and their respective fan bases, and for them to link up, man, gotta say, I remember back then a lot of cats were waiting on that collab, as when the Black Album was on its way, there were Jay-Z verses and freestyles that were on some mixtapes where he says something like, I dropped the Black Album and I'm out, and word had hit that Jay-Z was going to bow out of the rap game after the album dropped, even though that didn't really become the case, but in a sense it did, as he definitely took a break. It was kind of him fading into semi-retirement. But I just remember there being a lot of promo and whatnot and commercials and a big rollout for the album. And, there was commercials and, ads ran in magazines. And there definitely was, a heavy word that Eminem was going to be featured on the album. And, the Eminem fans most definitely couldn't wait. And I think even Jay-Z fans, as I stated and we've heard in numerous blogs and hip-hop content over the years, that even individuals who don't necessarily flock with Eminem respect what he can do lyrically. And I think even those fans probably were like, yo, I wonder what this collab will be like. And I don't feel like it disappointed anyone out there, but I don't know, I could be wrong. So hit the comments. Can't wait to chop it up with y'all on this very interesting topic and clip here from Big Gipp of the Goodie Mob speaking on Jay-Z, Eminem, Renegade, a legendary moment in music and hip-hop history. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all on the next one. It's coffee. And I'm gone.